records from the three most consequential assassinations in U.S. history. They'll be released because of another executive order President Trump signed on Thursday. That includes any remaining information about the killings of President John F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy, and Martin Luther King Jr. While many files about those assassinations have been declassified, the FBI, CIA, and others have refused to turn over thousands of pages of records, fueling many conspiracy theories that are out there. NewsNation's Brooke Schaefer is with me now. Brooke, this is major news. How soon could we see what's in these files?
Well, Markie, the Attorney General and the Director of National Intelligence have 2 weeks to come up with a plan to release the remaining JFK files. They've got a little over a month to make a plan for releasing the files on RFK and MLK, but it's still not clear exactly when those records would be made public, when we could potentially see them. But we're talking about thousands of documents here. With JFK's assassination alone, researchers think there are about 3,000 records from the CIA still not released. President Trump, in signing this executive order Thursday, promising full transparency.
That's a big one, huh? A lot of people are waiting for this for years, for decades. And everything will be revealed.
Now, declassifying the remaining JFK documents is something that Trump promised to do on the campaign trail, now expanding that to include the assassinations of Senator Robert F. Kennedy and Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. But there are still a lot of questions this morning about how this would work and what we could learn. Some researchers say anyone waiting for a dramatic explanation about the Kennedy assassination will likely be disappointed. Others, though, who've called for the release of these last documents for decades, questioning whether the details not held by the CIA will also be revealed.
There's also JFK records that are known to exist that are still held by government agencies or in private hands that are not in the JFK collection, and it's unclear whether this order will cover them or not.
This executive order signed by President Trump says that it's in the national interest to finally release all records related to these assassinations without delay. Markie?
Yeah, we know he declassified some of them in his first term, but it'd be something if every single one of them truly came to light. Brooke, I'm curious, have any relatives of JFK, RFK, or MLK said anything about this release?
Well, RFK Jr., of course, also tapped by Trump to be in his cabinet, by the way. He's not responded to this executive order, though in the past he said that he believes the CIA had something to do with the assassination of his uncle, President Kennedy, allegations the CIA has consistently denied. JFK's grandson, though, posted this on X, saying in part, quote, "Declassification is using JFK as a political prop when he's not here to punch back. There was nothing heroic about it." Now, Trump gave the pen he used to sign this executive order to an aide, telling them to give that pen to RFK Jr. Dr. Martin Luther King's family says in part that the assassination of their father is a deeply personal family loss, and they hope to review these files before they're released to the public. The King family, for their part, they've also been skeptical about the official investigation into his death. Markie?
A lot of people have been waiting years to see something like this happen. Fascinating. Brooke Schaefer, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.